people were getting pissed off at Eric Bailly for the couple of the goals this weekend, but the first goal, Maguire kicked it up at his face and he headed it up, and then Maguire did the exact same thing and tried to head it back to De Gea, and he headed it just straight to whoever it was.
The heat for heading it after. Like, I saw a lot of heat on Twitter about
Bailly, that was not.
What was that header?
That was not his fault.
A couple seconds.
Yeah.
It was Maguire's fault that whole thing happened.
So, and then he's clearly not a captain because. I mean,
no, watching that red card was, that's ridiculous.
And he's standing back to the side, and then in that video that's on Twitter going around now, Rashford is there saying, like, how is that a red card, but that's not. He literally elbowed him in the throat, and then Maguire's like, they already looked at it. But it's like, and then there was a picture of Maguire standing back, right, that one behind the goal, and then there's one of Roy Keane where one of his, like, when he was captain, one of the players got a red card in his team. He was up in the referee's face screaming at him, and I'm pretty sure that's the game where the referee took out the red card. Roy Keane came over, screamed at him, and the referee put the red card back and took out the yellow and gave him a yellow because that's how scared fucking referees were of Roy Keane.
Well, he's definitely not a captain. I think Bruno has that tenacity, to defend a player and get up in somebody's face.
Yeah,
he definitely, that's the risk that is involved in that is also involved in the kinds of, like, through balls in a sense. He's, he's an out there kind of guy.
And no one out there
I think Rashford could too, but he's also, like, quiet a lot, a lot of the time, even on the field. Like, he makes sneaky runs, or you've got to bring him into the play.
Yeah.
And he's never, like, trying to get in there.
There's no one on that team other than Bruno who's a vocal leader, in my opinion. Like, Maguire, like, seems like he is, but if he was a vocal leader, then
Shaw would be. But Henderson absolutely would be, though.
Yeah.
Henderson's got that energy about him. Henderson's my keeper. Fuck De Gea. And I mean that.
And then Liverpool just capitulated this week. But if you look at most of their goals were because they attacked. Aston Villa attacked that left side where Alexander-Arnold was vacant for almost every single one of them.
Well, I found out Ollie Watkins played like a left striker, left wing back at was it Brentford? He came from. Yeah, so that's where that comes from. Yeah. I mean, that gives Grealish liberty to come into the midfield also when he does stretch out wide. But you expose Trent. He's not a defender.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
Van Dijk, I don't know what he was doing half that match. He's supposed to be the world's best defender, and he got 7 goals scored on him. Jeez. And then Joe Gomez was lost as well. I think I said that Joe Gomez can be really good, but he looks so lost sometimes, and that's why Matip is better than him, because at least Matip has some sort of control over himself.
They didn't have a leader out there either, I feel like.
I mean, their leader is Jordan Henderson. He was on the bench.
Yeah.
If Jordan Henderson was on the field and Liverpool went down even 4-1 at halftime and they came back and he was playing, they would not have gotten 3 more goals scored on them.
I feel like he's only improved. I don't know why he's getting that kind of shade, like that flag from Klopp, or not getting the game.
I think it's because he has injuries. I don't think it's actually because he's benching him. Because it's quite clear to anyone watching Liverpool that when they don't have Jordan Henderson, they are not the same team, and that's an insane thing to say considering who the Liverpool midfield is. But
a leader's a leader, no matter who it is on the pitch. It matters. You need somebody to put their foot in their ass when you're not trying. He definitely runs that. That midfield has to be on the entire game for Liverpool because they're constantly pressing.
Yeah, and then City, look, if they don't have Kevin De Bruyne, City are the most average team I've ever watched.
They didn't play with a striker either, I don't think.
They played Raheem Sterling as striker, and they did that before last season. And I think last season, or maybe it was 2, I can't remember when it was, but they definitely played with Raheem Sterling as striker whenever Aguero and Jesus were both out, and it worked then because of the teams that they were playing. They were just able to walk all over them, so it made sense. But Leeds, who put up a game against Liverpool, they're not going to walk all over Leeds. When Liverpool or City first scored, I was like, this could be a rout. Because City looked good in that first 10 minutes when they scored, and then Leeds slowly they started getting back into the game, and then they got the goal, and then it looked more like Leeds were going to score in the second half than City did, in my opinion. I think even Leeds hit the crossbar, and City just could not get a shot on target.
Leeds have a mentality that I don't see in a lot of other teams in the Prem of just even when you're down by 2 goals, that you're still trucking the entire game.
Just keep playing you.
I mean,
and
their mentality is so hard.
That's what we like. I was saying though, like that is such a good mentality to have. Just keep playing your game. But there are like, and obviously it's worked out for them so far this season. But especially against the big teams. But there is going to be a game where they are playing someone and they're playing the way that they want, and they are going to get thumped. Like I am positive of that. And I think a main reason why. And it sounds like I'm making an excuse, but even for Wolves and City, like they all had that extra few weeks in the Champions League and Europa League, like United, City, and Wolves, and they are probably 3 of the worst teams playing right now. And I don't know about Liverpool's preseason. I really don't know about anyone's, but I know all the lower in quotations sides all had basically full preseasons. And another thing that helps all those teams is that they brought in all their players before the season started. Like they were working on deals while United, City, and Wolves were at or away. Yeah. And then obviously like Wolves in the past week or two, they brought in like four-ish players, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
City just brought in a center back, and then they brought in Torres earlier in the season, but he was what, 15 million or something, 25 million, something like that.
It's way too cheap for how decent.
Yeah.
For his hype.
And then they brought in Ake, who they got him fairly early, but
they just needed center backs.
Yeah.
I mean, Ake was a good kind of like cushion buy, but Diaz was definitely the purchase that they needed.
In my opinion, they need wing backs. I mean, you got Kyle Walker, who's like
forward. Well, they have Cancelo too, though. I thought.
Yeah, which. What they bought him for $70 million as a backup, and like he's so much like they should play him on the left because he's so much better than Mendy and he's so much better than Zinchenko because at least he can attack and like overlap and stuff. Mendy,
is there room for Zinchenko to grow? Every time I watch him, he inverts every time he goes into the middle.
He's way more of like if you were to play a 5-man back. He would be like the left of the 3 before the 2 wing backs. Does that make sense?
Zinchenko?
Yeah, he's not like a fullback that can go up and down the field. In my opinion.
Really?
I don't think so at all. Anytime I watch him play,
he's pretty small though. I thought. Like too small to play center back.
Yeah, I mean he's small, but that's the way he plays. Like he is not. He likes to play those long balls to the winger or up to the center forward, but. He really does not like to overlap. I don't think I've ever seen him overlap.
So he always cuts inside every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm saying like he would be, if you were to play a 5-man back with City, he would be. I would not put him out on the wing as like a wing back. There's no way he can't play that position. But yeah, City. I don't know how.
Their man this year. The City, is Aguero being phased out, or is he? He's not healthy right now.
He was supposed to be because Jesus was fit, and Aguero was injured for a long period of time. So the plan was to phase Aguero out, which I think that's just inevitable. But now that Jesus has such injury problems, that it's when Aguero comes back. I think Aguero gets that position back without question now. Because it's not like Jesus was playing phenomenal. He was playing like okay. So
they're going to be in for another 9 in the next.
They're going to have to be because they have an injury-prone backup to an injury-prone starter. Aguero hasn't really been that injury-prone only for the past few years. When he was first at City, he would start every game. No matter if it was in the Carabao Cup,
he was tough too. He's always been physical.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's just age with him catching up to him.
It's got to be,
because it's always a hamstring or like a groin or something wrong with him. It's never anything like he broke his leg.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, City definitely. I guarantee you next summer they'll be in for a striker, and you know who I think they're going to go for? Haaland. He doesn't, because I don't think Pep stays after this season. And they're going to want like a big name striker. And there's not really anyone else in world soccer that's young who is hungry and can score goals.
Why would they fire Pep, do you think?
I think Pep just wants to leave. I'm pretty sure his contract runs out at the end of this season, and I don't think that there's any talks about renewing it with him.
Ooh, does he go to France or Italy?
Pep?
Yeah. Only two he hasn't been to yet.
He'll go to...
I bet PSG, they're about to get rid of Tuchel. They're going to have to.
I was about to say, he'll go to PSG and then get another $1 billion to spend on whatever he wants. And then he'll go to another team that's already winning a league, already winning the domestic cups, and then he won't win a Champions League with them again.
Yeah.
But he'll still spend $1 billion, and people will still say he's one of the greatest managers.
Yeah.
I hate that, dude.
Well, the Pep's a fraud.
Dude, he's a good manager. Can't say he's not, because you can't be that good. You can't be on a good team, like be a manager of a good team and like not win titles. You know what I mean? Like you can have a great team and then just be absolute crap. But there's no way he could ever go to like a team like Leicester or a team like Everton and build it up like Ancelotti has at Everton, especially.
Mm-hmm.
What Ancelotti has done at Everton, Pep could never do in a million years.
I feel like Pep can't change his system to players. Like players have to fit his system.
Yeah, which I mean that makes sense. Like that's what most managers do. Yeah,
that's why he wouldn't do well at lower clubs, because I'm guessing those players aren't good enough to be adaptable.
They couldn't
to,
play.
Yeah.
Which I mean, makes sense. But even Carlo Ancelotti, I feel like the way Everton are playing is the way that all Ancelotti teams play.
I mean, he's turning that shit around, dude. They're fun to watch.
Him getting James
for
what was it, 25 or 35 mil?
Well, I mean, he's been trying to find a home for 3 years now. He's been on loan everywhere.
It's fair, but I mean,
and being reunited with Ancelotti is a good gig. Apparently, they're fans of each other too.
You know that. So Calvert-Lewin, after he got that hat trick in the league, he got a hat trick in the Carabao Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That was the second time in Ancelotti's career that his striker got 2 hat tricks in a row, and James Rodriguez played in both of those games.
For the full 90, yeah.
Yeah, so it was Ronaldo got 2 hat tricks in a row at Real when Ancelotti was there, and James was there, and then Calvert-Lewandowski getting 2 hat tricks in a row with James on the team.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he's good, man. The balls he's sending. I can't wait for him to get into the middle of the park though, because it's painful watching him play off that right side. I know he's peeling in, but if you put him in the middle, dude, there's just balls everywhere.
Everton just have no one on the right. Like, who can they put there?
Richarlison. He was there for a while, and then who was that other, the other left mid that they have? Who am I thinking? Walcott just went to Southampton. They have a Iwobi, but that's not who I'm thinking of. Bernard.
That's right.
Bernard's half decent. He's decent enough to start on Everton 11.
I remember when my club team we went to Brazil, and he was on that team in the city that we were staying at, and Ronaldinho was on the team, and we were like watching it on TV because they had their version of Champions League on, and it was a semi-final, and I was watching him, and like United and Arsenal who had interest in him. I was watching. I was like, I hope United get this kid. Like because at that time he was like 19, I think. I was like, this is a good player. And then of course, like 90% other Brazilians, he went to over to Shakhtar in Ukraine. So, and then obviously went to Everton after that. But
I think he's been there at Everton now 2 years. He's shifty. I don't know if he's not getting looks or if he's been injured.
He's just too small, and I know.
Yeah, but he's
the managers
speed.
that he's had though.
So is Mata, and look what Mata does.
Have not. Yeah, but would you say Bernard is up to the standard of Mata?
I'm saying we'll never know.
Okay, fair point. But dude, City will buy Calvert-Lewin.
I don't think.
If I was him, I would not leave Everton. You are the main man. You and James and Richarlison are going to be like the top 3. And if Everton got a keeper, if you don't know this, until October 14th, the English teams, so like Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, they can all still have transfers within themselves. So there still is a chance that Everton can get a goalkeeper from another team in England. So technically, the